This is not a problem that's getting better. It's one that's only getting worse. And that's why it's so critical that we get this message out now.
The cost of rent continues to rise, and so does the number of homeless Ohioans. Hundreds of organizations now asking the state to invest over $300 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds. They say that is going to help prevent another wave of homelessness come the fall. Allison Walker joining us live now outside of St. Vincent de Paul Homeless Shelter. And Allison, how have the homeless rates been impacted by inflation?
Yes, well, Adam, staff here at St. Vincent de Paul tell me there's nearly 500 guests staying in their shelters right now, and they say that this has been the busiest August they've seen in years. The Coalition on Homelessness and Housing in Ohio tells me that these trends are happening across the state as rents increase up to 30% and wages remain stagnant. Now hear what the on-the-ground impacts have been.
We see more and more people who are doubling up, and not doubling up in safe conditions, so in overcrowded conditions. And we are seeing more homelessness across the state. We've heard heightened reports of family unsheltered homeless, families with their children living on the street. That's not something we saw in the past in Ohio.
So Allison, can you tell us a little bit more about the coalition's funding proposal?
Yes, well, Adam, they're asking Governor DeWine to invest in building more affordable housing units across the state, and they say this is critical as only 1 in 4 people who need renters and housing assistance receive it. And they tell me that it's near impossible in this hot housing market to find landlords who will accept renters assistance or who will rent out to those impacted by homelessness. But be sure to tune in tonight at 6:30 on Fox 45 to hear directly from a woman who's staying right here at St. Vincent de Paul. Back to you.
Allison, thank you. The Super 8 Motel on East National Road in Vandalia has had its business operating permit revoked. It's because the place has failed to correct multiple fire code violations from the city fire division. Now, the building has been declared an unsafe structure, and the motel's owners have actually been arrested and criminally charged. All staff and guests must vacate the premises by Monday. All right, well, it looks like we're going to be talking about weather here. Kind of a quick change. Hey, these things happen right in the middle of live TV. So, Natalie, it is the weekend, but it sounds like the weekend's going to be looking a little bit different than the week has been.
Yeah, it's been a great week so far.
Truly.
Yeah, storms are in the forecast for this weekend.
I'm glad I got the yard work done today.
Yes, good idea. Still have some time maybe to get some done as you head into the day tomorrow, but this is a look at what's going on right now. Kettering Health Sky Cam showing things on the quieter side. Currently having temperatures sitting in the 80s, lower 80s, 82 with a mostly cloudy sky, dew points in the upper 50s. Looking pretty nice across the area really for the rest of this evening. It's not until the weekend we start to see those storms moving in. So we have those lower 80s, which is warmer than this time yesterday for most of us. We ended up climbing even up to 87 in Dayton, which is above normal for this time of the year. 5 degrees warmer in Wilmington compared to this time yesterday. And for tonight, skies overall partly cloudy, mostly clear. It's going to be a little warmer, lows dropping into the mid 60s. But coming up, I am talking about those storms for the weekend. We do have a low and severe potential with them, so I'm going to talk about that coming up here in just a little bit.
Natalie, thanks. Well, as kids head back to school, COVID relief is coming to an end for local schools, which means the federal free lunch program is ending. For 2 years now, meals were free for every student. Now it goes back to the income-based programs for families. But the Ohio Department of Education wants to remind people there are still state resources available, covering a lot of different areas. For example, lower income families in Ohio can participate in the ACE program, where they can qualify for up to $500 in vouchers that they can then use for services for students. That includes before or after school programs, day camps, music lessons, and field trips, among other things. You can go to education.ohio.gov, search ACE program, and you can apply and learn more. The executive director of the American Rescue Plan Elementary and Secondary School Emergency Relief says the last few years have been a real challenge for everyone.
Parents really stepped in ways they probably never envisioned as teachers and educators themselves at times during the last few years. So I just want to thank them for their partnership.
Now, recent data insights show math and literacy are areas of greatest focus. Attendance also a challenge, and leaders want to keep digging into that. Overall, the state hopes to continue bringing in partnerships to better serve students. Well, today, students at the University of Dayton, they are stepping into their new homes, at least for the new school year. It's move-in day at UD. More than 1,800 students, 300 volunteers, plenty of campus groups and faculty all over campus to help students get all moved in and settled in.
We're a welcoming community here to support you and throughout the entire journey, but specifically as you start this immensely emotional time, that it is welcomed with positivity and excitement.
Go Dayton Flyers!
The university is expecting to maintain record enrollment, projecting around 12,000 students. These strong numbers are also led by increased interest from international students and surging demand in programs like computer science, business analytics, and graduate engineering. Classes start on Monday. And parents, if your star student is going back to class, we'd love to see those pictures. Today was Jacob's first day of school. He looks ready and be at the top of his class. Big smiles there. Thanks to Chelsea for sharing that great photo. And parents, if you have something to share, we'd love to see yours too. We got a whole gallery on our website. You can grab your phone, scan this QR code right now, and it'll take you to that Chime In page. And you can upload your photos and videos right to us. You might even see them live here on the air. A new brewery and eatery has opened in Dayton's Water Street district tonight. The Moeller Brew Barn is a new tap room and beer garden right across from Day Air Ballpark. Brews its own craft beer on site, 32 of them. Has a full kitchen menu, and it's just about more than just the meal.
We really try to provide a tourist attraction where people can come see all these unique buildings, especially this building in downtown Dayton, where, you know, bring an old building back to life. The city has been fantastic to work with. There's a lot of breweries and a lot of really great places downtown, and we're just excited to be part of it.
This is the third location for the tap room. The first was founded in Maria Stein in 2015. 2 more locations are planned for Monroe and Plain City.
The Western Southern Open has been rolling all week, and there have been a surprising number of upsets. We'll have updates on those upsets and the quarterfinals after the break.
And a special memorial at the United States Air Force Museum today, how Vietnam War veterans are being commemorated and how you can take part in the salute.
Plus, I'm tracking thunderstorm chances for this weekend. I'll time it all out for you coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
On Wednesday, Elk County, Pennsylvania got the ground nearly coated by ping-pong-sized hailstones. The size is not unusual, but the amount kind of is. Austin, Texas got a good, desperately needed soaking yesterday. It was the first time in 51 days they officially had any measurable rain. And check out Salt Lake City sunrise against castles in the sky, officially known as Altocumulus Castellanus cloud.
Follow the National Weather Desk on your favorite social media platform.
The oldest tennis tournament in America is still going on right now, right here in Ohio. Hundreds of thousands of people have come to Mason this week, all to watch the biggest names in tennis battle on the court for the title. And there's been a surprising amount of upsets. Tej Joshi, host of Good Day Dayton, is there live now. So Tej, what can we expect moving forward here?
Yeah, Adam, like you said, a lot of upsets this week. And you said some of the biggest names in tennis have been here this week, and they are no longer playing. Serena Williams lost in her first matchup. Rafael Nadal lost earlier in the week. Nick Kyrgios lost earlier in the week. So a lot of big names and top-seeded players no longer playing. But I want to show you what is happening right now. This is center court here at the Western and Southern Open. Fans are actually leaving this court right now because there's a little break in the action right now. One thing that was not an upset right now, Stefanos Tsitsipas just beat John Isner. That was a great match that a lot of folks were just watching here on center stage. Very exciting stuff. We heard lots of cheers as that third set was finishing up. I do have to say, all eyes now are turning to the night session. We'll start around 7 p.m. and Pegula, one of the stars on the women's side in this tournament so far, is actually had a great tournament. Will be playing against a qualifier. That's right, a qualifier has made this far in the match. That's how many upsets there have been. A lot of upsets here across the whole tournament. And of course, on the men's side, Alcaraz, only 19 years old, will be playing in the second game in the night session here on center court. All eyes on him as well. Like I said, he's 19 years old, hoping to be one of the first teenagers to reach the semifinals here at the Western and Southern Open. Lots of exciting stuff, lots of great action coming here. Of course, we will bring you some more updates throughout the evening. Of course, if you at home can't make it out here in time and want to watch at home, all this action will be on the tennis channel. And I said those two big matchups on center stage will be starting after 7 p.m. For now, though, we're going to send it back to you all in the studio.
All right, the other big sport we're talking about tonight is football. It is Football Friday, Andre.
Oh, yeah, finally, it is here. It's been about 261 days since we had a high school football game to talk about in the Miami Valley. Give or take a few hours, who knows, but it's going to be a very fun day. We've got a slate of games going on. BELLBROOK versus TIPPECANOE, as you see behind us. That's going to be our game of the week. A very interesting matchup, Adam, because both of those teams were big running teams last year. BELLBROOK's got a new running back coming in who says he wants to keep that culture up. And as for Tip City, they've still got Liam Porosky at quarterback coming into his senior year, and he's going to be very dangerous. And speaking of dangerous, Miamisburg, West Carrollton, the Berg, having Jackson McGowan, one of our favorite players, going to UC next year.
That's going to be fun. Well, and we have a whole other slate of games too as well. That's all coming your way tonight at right around 10:30-ish, right around 11:15-ish on ABC 22 and Fox 45. So I'm pumped. We'll be sharing those.
Oh, definitely. We're going to have the highlights. We're going to have student sections. We're going to have a play of the game, so you guys play your hearts out and then come watch us, see all of the fun, because I know we are looking forward to it.
All right, Andre, thanks. Natalie?
And it's looking good for some football this evening. Going to be another warm one. In fact, a little warmer this evening compared to yesterday. But we do have a weather maker approaching. Take a look at this storm system off to our west. You can see that spin of that area of low pressure right over Minnesota, bringing thunderstorm activity into Iowa as well as northern Missouri. That's part of our next weather maker that will be making its way in, bringing us some storms, and there is a low and severe potential with these. So looking into the day tomorrow, we start out quiet, but by tomorrow afternoon, some thunderstorms develop, and those will continue into the evening hours. This is about 5 p.m. as this area of low pressure scoots its way through. We'll continue to see the chance for storms into the day on Sunday. This is 7 a.m. on Sunday, and then lingering into even our Sunday afternoon, a few storms making their way in, which will also pose a risk for some stronger to severe storms, and another chance for some thunderstorms on our Monday. So level 1 threat for severe storms tomorrow. Damaging winds would be the main concern. Heading into the day on Sunday, tracking the same trend, that level 1 threat for severe storms. Going to time out the rest of the week and that 7-day coming up in just a bit.
All right, Natalie, thanks. A live look at the CDC's COVID-19 data tracker now. Right now, there's still more than 95,000 new cases daily, nearly 400 new deaths, and more than 5,600 new hospitalizations. Now, 79% of the U.S. population, 5 and older, though, has gotten at least one dose of their COVID vaccine. That's more than 262 million people. Nearly 35% have their first booster, totaling more than 108 million. But the government may soon stop covering the cost for those vaccinations and treatments. The Wall Street Journal reports the White House is planning to shift the costs to insurers and patients. Both the Trump and Biden administrations have said that they plan to eventually do this. The Department of Health and Human Services is planning a meeting later this month to discuss that shift to the commercial market. Well, heading into the second weekend after a mass shooting in Over the Rhine, Cincinnati is easing up on some of the changes on Main Street. Marella Porter shows us how that change is where people can park and how local businesses feel about it.
Okay, so starting tonight, Cincinnati police will be making those changes to parking on Main Street. Now, after the shooting, the weekend right after, they closed off parking, the metered parking on the street here from 7 p.m. until 8 a.m. on Saturday, and that would take place from Friday and Saturday. Now it's going to be closed off, as you can see on this sign, from 9 p.m. until 3 a.m. Now, business owners who work in this area, who run their shops here, tell me that this for them is kind of horrible because this is the time when they get the most traffic into their shops. People come in to eat. They say that one of the big issues is that delivery drivers like Uber Eats and things like that can't park because starting at 10 p.m., parts of Main Street are blocked off to make sure that people can't park on this street. It's only open to foot traffic, so that is a problem that people have been having. Now, some business owners do understand that this is something that Cincinnati police has to do to make changes in this area to make it safer. They just think that maybe there are other ways that they can go about this. For now, in OTR, I'm Marella Porter.
Marella, thank you. This is a live look now at FlightAware's real-time flight traffic map. You can see all the planes in the airspace right now. With the Labor Day weekend approaching, major airlines are being put on blast. FlightAware reports more than 40,000 flights have been canceled since just June. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg wrote a letter calling the number of disruptions unacceptable, and he's giving them an ultimatum. Airlines either need to figure out how to improve customer service on their own, or the feds will make them.
The message to the airlines is that you've got to make it easier for passengers to understand their rights, and you've got to support passengers when they experience delays or cancellations.
Now, the Department of Transportation is going to launch a new dashboard with services or amenities each airline provides in the event of a delay or cancellation. Buttigieg also wants airlines to give meal vouchers for delays over 3 hours and hotel accommodations. The department largely blames airlines for overscheduling flights and giving confusing rules on refunds and vouchers. Airlines blame staffing issues. All right, this is a live look at AAA's gas prices tracker now. You can see the national average for a gallon of gas has dropped below $4 now. It's sitting at $3.92. Just a month ago, it was $4.50. Mamie Baugh explains how this is impacting the Miami Valley.
Just a month ago, Ohioans were doing everything they could to cut costs, including limiting the number of driving and cutting back on groceries because of how high the gas prices were. Now gas prices have fallen below $4 a gallon, and many people I spoke to here at the UDF gas station on Brown Street tell me it's a relief that even just a little bit helps. I sat down and spoke to AAA. They tell me, will these gas prices continue to fall and what's to come? Tune in tonight at 10 and 11.
Mamie, thanks. Well, a story now from our partners at the Dayton Business Journal tonight. The former Sears building at the Dayton Mall has been purchased by a growing church. Crossroads Church is a Cincinnati-based interdenominational church with multiple regional locations already. They say they're thrilled to have a permanent home in Dayton. The project will bring new life into the mall and create new jobs and work for local contractors and suppliers. And if you'd like to read more about this, you can do so at Dayton247now.com. You can find this story, others like it, under the Dayton Business Journal heading in the News tab. The National Museum of the United States Air Force hosting a Vietnam veteran salute today. The American Veterans Traveling Tribute Vietnam Memorial is an 80% replica of the Vietnam Wall, bearing the names of more than 58,000 service members killed in Southeast Asia. As part of the memorial, a pair of B-52s you see there flew over the area. Now, the B-52 has been serving the Air Force since 1955, still serving today, and probably will continue to do so for a few more decades.
Not everybody can get to Washington, D.C. to see the Vietnam Memorial, but seeing a traveling version of it, about an 80% scale version, gives you a good idea of what the memorial is like. And most of all, it gives the visitor the opportunity to see more than 58,000 names all in one place and realize that all of those people made the ultimate sacrifice in that conflict.
2022 celebrates the 75th anniversary of the Department of the U.S. Air Force, so the museum is hosting a lot of events and exhibits to honor and celebrate the airmen's history. Now you can go to the museum's website, nationalmuseum.af.mil. To find a full schedule. Well, we are starting a new segment here, and we sure could use your help. We're calling it Hometown Heroes. So if you know someone making a difference in the community, let us know about it. Could be police, could be fire, could be military, a teacher, a nurse, a doctor, whoever, anyone you think deserves to be recognized. So here's what we need. We need pictures or a video of your nominee with an explanation of why you think that they're a hometown hero. You can submit your nominations right now through our Dayton 24/7 Now app. You just open up that app, click on Explore, then click Chime In, and we'll start airing these late next week. And you can get that app for free right now to get started on your nomination. Just scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you straight to the App Store, and you can download it.
Well, a great evening out here on our Watson's Weather Patio. A little bit warmer than what we had at this time yesterday. Currently hanging out in the 80s and more 80s on the way, but we're also tracking those storms. So I talked about earlier the storms that will be making their way in for the weekend. Those will especially be moving through late into the day on Saturday and on Sunday, and that will be with an area of low pressure that does eventually cool things off a bit. So clouds, rain on Sunday, keeping highs in the upper 70s, but then notice we do start to gradually climb again back up into those lower 80s by Wednesday. And in fact, in the longer term, as we head into our Friday, we will be seeing temperatures climb even more. We're talking about mid upper 80s in the forecast too. So I'm going to talk about those rain chances, a look at that 7-day forecast and what we're expecting into next week coming up here in just a bit.
Natalie, thanks. A lot is going down in Darke County over the next week. Still ahead, a look at what you and your family can do in Greenville. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
A big weekend in Greenville. The Great Darke County Fair now underway, and ELYSE COULTER shows us everything you need to know about who you can see and what you can do.
The Great Darke County Fair kicking off today. Lots of fun things are going to be happening all week long. We've got this guy right here, the #1 Nashville recording artist, Riley Greene, with special guest Lane Hardy performing at 7 o'clock on Sunday. And there is so much entertainment. I don't even think I have time for all of it. We've got cheerleading competition. We've got harness racing. We've got tractor pull, Little Miss and Mr. Fair pageant. We've got the demolition derby, motorcycle races. There's all kinds of good things happening at the fair all week long from now until August 27th. So you want to make sure you head on up to the Darke County Fair, and don't forget to enjoy the fair food, of course.
Well, if you are heading to the fair this weekend, you will be dodging some showers and thunderstorms, but the good news is next 7 days looking a little bit better. But here's a look at what we're talking about for this weekend. So for our day on Saturday, we'll start out quiet, upper 60s, eventually getting into the upper 70s by lunchtime. After lunchtime into the afternoon, evening hours, we do see thunderstorms developing, and then we'll continue with on and off thunderstorms really throughout the day on Sunday. So plan accordingly, as we will be tracking some showers and thunderstorms, especially for the second half of the weekend. This is a look at our extended forecast. So showers and thunderstorms through Monday. Now Monday we have our high temperature of 80 degrees. Thunderstorms really for the first half of the day, and then they start to clear out. We'll be tracking those lower to mid 80s as we head into the middle of next week, with lots of sunshine in the forecast by the middle of next week too. And we start to see things warm up even more, close to 90 by next Friday.
Ooh.
So still summer, still feeling it out there.
Yeah, we're not out of it yet, despite school starting for many of our kids.
That's
It
right.
is definitely still summer, no question.
Yeah.
All right, Natalie, thanks, and thank you for joining us tonight. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media. We are headed over to Fox 45 next. We hope you'll join us there.